The purpose of the assignment is about inflation and unemployment that happen in Nepal economy. In Nepal, inflation and unemployment rates are playing hide and seek based on global crisis and rural-urban crisis. Inflation and unemployment are the two important variables in macroeconomy. Inflation and unemployment are the biggest challenge that mostly every country has faced and same goes with the Nepal. So current population of Nepal in this year 2021 is 29,674,920, a 1.85% increase from 2020. So in 2019, just over 50% of Nepal gross domestic product (GDP) came from its sector, which is agriculture, that contribute the second largest amount. Furthermore, the main source of national income of Nepal is from agriculture like rice, corn, wheat, sugarcane, jute, group, crops, meat, and also buffalo meat. The source of national income of Nepal also from industry like tourism, carpet, textile, cigarette, cement, and brick production. And finally, the national debt of Nepal went up. So in 2017, gross national income was 25,472,405,093 billion dollars, while 2019 is 30,995,614,000 billion dollars, and it has increased by year.
12 years ago, Nepal reached the highest rate on inflation for 2 years from 2009 and 2010. The rising rate from 5.62 on 2008 and increasing to 15.91 on 2009 and 15.15 on 2010. Year after, rate of inflation is reducing because of strategic movement by government of Nepal. The inflation happened in Nepal because of some factors. According to Nepal Rastra Bank, factors that happened was related with money supply, international prices, especially their neighbor country, Indian prices, exchange rates, and government spending. In addition, lack of infrastructure, incomplete market conditions, as well as market demand. Other factors are increasing in electricity tariffs, fertilizer prices, and cost of workers' wages. The inflation in Nepal causes many effects. The price of supply food is rising highly. That causes the seller need to increase their prices. In addition, there are lack of grains such as rice, oat, and barley, which these are their staple foods and export economy. In connection, poor residents in Nepal had to limit their staple foods. However, the government of Nepal had been responsible and took actions to avoid continuous inflation in Nepal. They are reducing the taxes of export or import food products and increasing domestic revenue. These actions are because to recover from the country's loan. Next, they are increasing agriculture productions to maintain their value of export and supply to the worldwide. This is productive actions to Nepal even though the price is costly.
From this diagram, we can see that the Nepal unemployment rate in 2015 is 3.1%, which is the highest level compared to the other years. However, the unemployment rate in Nepal has increased start from 2008 until 2005 and began to decrease in subsequent years up to 2019. The unemployment effect in Nepal is strong pressure in labor supply. The lack of decent work is not an indicator of lack of employment in labor market. Nepal has inadequate infrastructural transformation and diversity. Then, the lack of productive employment, which means low productivity, low wages, and poor working conditions. The government policies will help to create the job opportunities. For example, preparing knowledge and skill-based labor force as per need of the labor market. Also, to improve the quality of employment by gradually transforming informal employment into formal employment. First action, Nepal's youth employment policy places particular emphasis on facilitating the formalization of informal economy where over 90% employed youth are located. In agriculture, competitive capacity of the agriculture sector will be strengthened by improving productivity of export-oriented agriculture and emphasizing marketization of agriculture. To help farmers in food quality control, local farmer groups will be made capable of buying and selling farmer services. Next is the Ministry of Labour, Employment and Social Security launched a software named Employment Management Information System to ease them. The government will collect data of the unemployed person at respective local level, update it and provide identity card to the listed unemployed people. It will also facilitate employment opportunities for them while making recommendations for various kinds of skill-oriented training.
The coronavirus pandemic that hits all the countries around the world has a huge effect on every country, and Nepal is also not excluded from being affected by this COVID-19 pandemic. Among the effects that are taken very seriously is the effect of the inflation that occurred in Nepal due to this pandemic. Due to this COVID-19 pandemic, Nepal began to suffer due to the sudden and widespread cessation of the economic activity. This inflation has caused the overall consumer spending to decline. An example of an inflationary situation that occurs in Nepal is the occurrence of rising food price disrupting the food supply chain, and this is also due to the consumer hoarding behavior. As can be seen in the diagram, at the beginning of 2020, in January, the inflation rate was relatively high at 6.8%. In February, the inflation rate was recorded as the highest rate in 2020, which is 6.9%. The COVID-19 pandemic had many effects on Nepal from employment and caused the unemployment rate in the country to increase. The diagram shows the unemployment rate in the previous years were only at a low level, and because of the pandemic that hit the world in 2020, the unemployment rate in Nepal also shows a significant increase compared to the previous year, which is the unemployment rate in the 2020 is 4.44%. Nepal's own economy has severely affected, and this has forced some business that are unable to survive and business that are not priority by the government to be closed. In addition, the percentage of Nepalis who took approval to become the foreigner employees also decreased by 86.5%, and this can indicate that there is an increase in the unemployment rate in Nepal.
As we know, stimulus package is a coordinated effort to increase government spending, lower taxes and increase rate. On the other meaning, it is a package of tax rebates and incentive used by the governments of various countries to stimulate economy and save their country from a financial crisis. First is, the government of Nepal already provides 50% of the minimum wage that it has set to those people who remain unemployed for 100 days if none of their family members are employed for a year. Second is, government Nepal announced stimulus package exceeding 210 billion in the budget for fiscal 2020 to 2021 to help business cope with unfavorable circumstances created by COVID-19 pandemic and to boost economy. By giving help to the people, government spend a lot of money to provide all kinds of assistance. National debt will increase. As example, spending was higher and revenue is lower. Next, it will affect fiscal sustainability. This is because government provided amount of money to support individuals and firms. All of this will eventually be rolled back for fiscal sustainability. Example like government provided its subsidies loan facility, tax waiver, cash subsidy, government gives one-off or cash to the people, compensation and other discounts and announced in the budget. Between 2019 and 2023, the public debt is expected to rise from 30.1 to 43.8% of GDP.
So the conclusion is every country has its own crisis that result in unemployment and economic collapse. Nepal is one of the examples of a country with a very high jobless population and very high inflation. So from the research, average percentage of GDP inflation faced from 2005 to 2019, Nepal still needs a process for improvement in maintaining peace and welfare of the country. Okay, that's all.
From us.
Thank you.
Watching.
Bye. Assalamualaikum.